Hey there, NFL fans. Jack Sperry from Chat Sports here, and this video originally aired on our Commanders channel, going over the top 5 trade destinations, some surprise names on my list, so hope you guys really enjoy. If you want more NFL content here from Chat Sports, make sure you click that subscribe button. We really do appreciate all the support. What's good, Commanders fans? I am your host, Jack Sperry, and this is the Commanders Report. On today's show, I'm going to be breaking down 5 trade destinations for Chase Young if the Washington Commanders decide to trade him away before the start of the 2023 offseason. But before we get into today's action, make sure you click that subscribe button, because if a move happens, if the Commanders trade away Chase Young, we are going to have you covered with a breaking news video right here on YouTube, 100% free. So if you want breaking news coverage on your Washington Commanders whenever they make a big move, any time of the year, we got you covered. Click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss any of our free content here on the platform. So before we get into some teams here, some trade destinations, I have a little bit of a disclaimer here. I do not want the Washington Commanders to trade away Chase Young. I think the upside is there. Apparently in OTAs, he's been looking really great, really explosive. I'm very excited to see Chase Young in a Commanders uniform in 2023. However, this is a news and rumors program, and when there's rumors going around, and there's a ton of Chase Young trade rumors going around, we are going to have you guys covered on those rumors. So without further ado, let's get into today's list. Number 1 on my list, Arizona Cardinals. Yes, this might be a little bit of a weird one for some, because people are like, wait a second, Jack, aren't the Arizona Cardinals rebuilding right now? Why would they trade for a player? Well, here's why. Arizona is looking to add young talent right now, and Chase Young is still very young. Okay, he was just drafted in 2020, still pretty young man. Then they got plenty of cap space, okay? So they got a ton to spend on a massive extension that Young is lined up for now that the Commanders have declined his 5th-year option. And the Cardinals have some potential trade pieces that Washington may covet here. So not only could you get a draft pick for Chase Young, but you could potentially get another player like Zach Ertz. We all know right now that new offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is used to having a guy like Travis Kelce in the lineup, a receiving threat in his offense. Right now, he's got Logan Thomas as his number 1 tight end. I mean, that's just not cutting it in my opinion. And Zach Ertz is no Travis Kelce. Don't get me wrong, but he is still a very good receiving threat at the tight end position, and I've been saying it for weeks. I think the Commanders should absolutely give Arizona a call and see if they can get Zach Ertz. And you can also get a second-round pick here. The Cardinals, of course, traded back in this year's NFL draft, so they've got a bunch of draft capital that they could give away. If they really like Chase Young and they want to make him their cornerstone edge rusher, I think that would be a good move for them to make. So 2024 second-round pick, Zach Ertz for Chase Young. Who wins this trade, Washington or Arizona? Let me know down in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get a chance here, YouTube throws you an ad break, give me a Washington or an Arizona down there in the comments. Number 2 on my list of trade destinations for Chase Young is Kansas City. Okay, now this one is a little bit more obvious, right? Kansas City's trying to compete for a title right now, and right now they're trying to allocate funds for a potential run at DeAndre Hopkins. But what if DeAndre Hopkins doesn't end up going to the Kansas City Chiefs? Let's say he goes to the Buffalo Bills instead. You got all these funds now. Maybe you can put that towards Chase Young instead and get a cornerstone edge rusher to try to make another run for a 3rd Super Bowl here in just the last couple of years. And they might be willing to deal a first-round pick in order to get there if they really like Chase Young that much. If they think Chase Young can be their cornerstone guy, why wouldn't they give up a first-round pick for him? I certainly think that Young is the type of guy that could be the difference in a playoff game if you really need to, along with all the pass rushers that they've got there in Kansas City. I think Chase Young would be a great addition for their team, and it's probably going to be a later first-round pick anyway, so I think this might be a pretty decent deal for both sides. So you're the GM here. You're Martin Mayhew, and you have this trade offer from the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Would you accept this trade? Type A if you would accept, or type D if you would decline. Now, coming up here, I got 3 more trade ideas to go over with y'all. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor at BetUS, and they're offering you guys a 125% deposit bonus when you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code CHAT125. 5. Right now, the NBA Finals are going on right now. The Denver Nuggets are up 2-1 in the series. Can the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler come back? I guess we'll just have to wait and see, and you can bet on the NBA Finals as well. Of course, in the NFL, college football, that's coming around the corner as well. So go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code CHAT125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. All right, number 3 on my list here of trade destinations is Cincinnati. Now, we talked about Cincinnati in terms of Chase Young before on the show. Right now, the Bengals are in their Super Bowl window with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and company, and Young would solidify this pass rush as one of the best in the National Football League, man. They've got some pretty good guys on their roster right now rushing the passer, but Chase Young could potentially be that true number 1 guy that could put them over the top there and get them their first Lombardi trophy. And it might be, they might also be willing to give up a first-round pick, just like Kansas City. This is probably going to be a later first-round pick. So the Bengals, if it gets them over the top and they think Chase Young is that guy, why not go out and use that first-round pick to get that cornerstone edge rusher for the future? So let me know right now what you guys think. Is this a smart trade for the Washington Commanders, trading a Chase Young for a first-round pick here? Probably a later first-round pick, but let me know right now in the comments with a yes or a no. Number 4 on my list here, Houston Texans. Now, another team that's rebuilding right now, but just like with the Arizona Cardinals, they're looking to add young talent. And Chase Young is somebody that could still be a cornerstone number 1 edge rusher on an NFL team. Of course, the San Francisco 49ers, they have Nick Bosa. Chase Young also went to Ohio State, could also be that dominant type edge rusher in DeMeco Ryans' defensive scheme. And right now, they don't have a true number 1 guy. They've got a couple decent pieces on their roster right now, but they need that true alpha in the room that they don't have right now. Chase Young could absolutely be that guy. And they have plenty of cap space as well to give Chase a massive extension here because he is slated to be a free agent in 2024. And I think they'd be willing to give up a second-round pick, right? They have a bunch of draft capital at their disposal. If they think Chase Young could be their cornerstone left tackle, or not left tackle, edge rusher, my apologies there, absolutely. I think DeMeco Ryans would potentially take this deal. So which team comes out on top in this trade scenario? Is it the Commanders or is it the Texans? Let me know down in the comment section. Can't wait to see how you're feeling about this potential trade with the Texans. And finally here, I got a bit of a dark horse here, which is the New Orleans Saints, the only team other than Arizona that's in the NFC. And, you know, New Orleans isn't really a team that gets thrown around in these Chase Young trade discussions often because they already got Cam Jordan, who is a number 1 guy. But just imagine if the Saints got Chase Young to mix with Cam Jordan on that pass rush. Dennis Allen is certainly on the hot seat entering 2023. He needs to get this team potentially to the playoffs in order to save his job. And if you bring him in here next to Cam Jordan, that's one of the best pass rushing duos in the game today. I talked with our Saints host, Chase Gerard, here at Chat Sports, and he said that he would take Chase Young for a second-round pick. So I think that this would be a decent offer here. Of course, I wouldn't make this trade because I want Chase Young to be a Commander. But if the Commanders are looking to get rid of Chase Young, say his knee isn't really holding up all that well, and they know that, and they want to get something for him before his knee completely deteriorates, a second-round pick here wouldn't be a terrible offer as well, but the Saints are lower on my list for a reason. I think the Saints are probably the least likely team on this list. So now you've seen all these trade scenarios. Which one is your favorite? Let me know right now in the comment section by typing 1, by typing 2, by typing 3, 4, or 5. Okay, guys, just to recap, we covered the Cardinals, we covered the Texans, Saints, Bengals, and Chiefs. So let me know which trade idea was your favorite down in the comment section. And if you don't want to trade Chase Young, let me know that as well down in the comments. That'll be it for me today, comrades. Really do appreciate all the support that you give to us here. If you made it this far in the video, that means we must be doing something right. So if you want to join our Commanders family here, go ahead, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, and of course, turn on your notifications as well so you never miss any of our free content.